Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Stocks and Middle Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Uncle AK.
And I'm Reflex. How you feeling, bro?
Man, I don't feel too good, man. But anyways.
You sick?
Sick, man.
Dang, you showed up for work, though.
Yeah, late, too.
I know.
Hella late.
Let me tell y'all something, man. This guy is so... we're not going to roast him. That's a fresh cut.
Yes, sir.
He showed up late because he went to get a cut. We go, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We going to give a round of applause. Shout out to you, barber. Now, listen, appreciate y'all checking out Stuck in the Middle podcast. This is an exciting episode we got for y'all this week, man. If you are new to the podcast, please rate it on all audio streamers. That's, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We are on Spotify. Check us out there. You know what I'm saying? Include us on your drive to work. If you're watching on YouTube, appreciate you. And hit that subscribe button so you can get episodes as soon as they drop. Got a special guest in the building. I'm excited for this, bro.
Yes, sir. Do the sponsors real quick, though.
Yeah, man. The Perfect Office Solution, they got to cut us a check before I do it this time, so we just going to leave it at that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Chico was about to kill me. Get the check to me first, Chico. It's like, nah, but listen, I'm excited for this episode because it's, Black History Month is about to be over. And that's not the bulk of, it, but, she embodies a lot of what we're going to talk about, as far as, Black history and, Africa. And I'm not going to spoil it. Do us the honest thing to do, so we're going to get this thing cracking, bro.
Yes, sir. She is the founder and lead curator of Nubian Hueman, an ethnic fashion, art, and beauty boutique created from around the world, located in Washington, D.C., and also the chief visionary of Black Love Experience. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Anika Hobbs to Stuck in the Middle podcast.
Yeah. Thank you for waiting for this guy to go and get his haircut and come back.
Thank you for waiting.
That's good sport.
We waited for your freshness.
Hey,
we appreciate it, man.
If I didn't do this today, it would have been next 2 weeks. And I've been looking rough.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you.
That's some tough dreads. We just gotta let you grow dreads. You know what I'm saying? Get you dressed, her level.
Oh,
but listen, for those who are not familiar with Anika Hobbs, how would you describe, see yourself as somebody who doesn't know you?
How would I describe myself?
Yeah. Who's Anika? Yeah.
Oh man. I would say first of all, I'm a true Libra. So we're all over the place. We want things to be right. We want things to be perfect. We want everybody to be happy and fair.
Libra is in the zodiac sign?
Yes. October 18th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Year not needed. But, yeah, that's me. I'm a true Libra, just very passionate about artists and creatives living off of their art, especially when it comes to Black and brown people. So,
are we succeeding in that right now as far as, Black people living off their art?
I think we're definitely moving in the right direction. I think we still have opportunities to learn how to monetize larger and like our counterparts. Mm-hmm. But I think we're figuring it out. There's a lot of trailblazers right now.
Such as?
I would just say even just like the Ava DuVernays,
yeah.
Black Panther, Ryan Coogler,
about that too.
Yeah, just in so many different ways: music, fashion, theater, art, business. I think we're definitely moving in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Born in Massachusetts, Boston, Massachusetts.
Yes.
You grew up in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Yes, near Harvard.
I got excited, man. You know what I'm saying, when digging in your past, and I found out your mom is part Cameroonian or got Cameroonian background.
Yeah, so my mom's down our line is Cameroon.
You did the swap?
I did.
Damn,
African
you
Ancestry.
gotta go get your money back.
Gotta
get your money back.
I gotta get my money back.
I would take you Cameroon. You know what I'm saying? I would take you to the correct Goomba house where they would do the correct one to confirm it 100%. Not that 3%. I'm just hating on Ashley because I don't believe in that.
You don't believe in it?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, why
not?
Not?
This is the second time I'm saying this on this podcast.
But why not though? Let's just get the story right. Why not? Why don't you believe it?
I just feel like it's just so much in the mix. Like people be like, I'm 3% this and 3% Ghanaian and Gambian. It's just like, nah, it gotta be. It's not accurate. I don't think it's accurate at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you think about, it only did my mom's my mother's line, so we all thought we were like Native American,
Yeah.
Black folks, we always think we got Indian in our family. And you know, my grandmother had that jaw that was just like a Cherokee jaw, you know? No.
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 No,
It was like 99.83 something percent Cameroon. Like, you are Cameroonian.
Hey, well, I accept you because you
We'll take it. We'll take
you
it.
dope. You dope. You know, so we take dope people.
Before we hop into your platform, could you please tell us a little bit about your educational background?
So I went to Syracuse. I graduated from Syracuse University with a degree in environmental designs, which is essentially interior architecture. And right after college, I started working for H&M when they were new to the U.S. So I think I started in like their 6th store in the U.S. I mean, they have like over 300-400 stores now. But I started out with them as a sales associate.
Yeah. We don't get to that, that H&M. But growing up, you showed, express love and inspiration for architecture and, being an architect.
Yeah. I really wanted to, I love building space. I really love that. And, Legos, I used to love Legos and drawing and just, people and environments and how it can change your mood and yeah, I just really liked the psychology of people in space.
Why and did you move away from that, or how did it shape, where you are today?
Yeah.
So when I graduated, I didn't have a portfolio. If you're in design school, it's like when you leave, you have a solid resume and you have a design portfolio. When I left, I didn't have that portfolio. And my mom was like, you need to get a job. Student loans were coming in. I had bills.
6 months ran out quick.
It was very quick. So, I started working for H&M and, I really think, my path with them was pretty much still on the visual side, still on the architectural side. And we'll talk about that later. But, it's very much about, like, I just really like to see how what does color do for your psyche? What does scent do for your psyche? How does that make you feel? If you smell something, where does that bring you to? How does that build you? How does that make you feel? So that was really important to me.
I know it's late, but I mean, I don't know if you looked at our space and was telling these folks what we're missing or how we could move things around to make the space look a little
Your
better.
little feng shui,
Make it look a little doper and nicer. Feel me?
Yeah.
Now, but what's behind the name Nubian Hueman? Like, how did you come about that, and what is it?
I just wanted a name that said person of color. So Nubian as far as like the origination of people, and human is just like the umbrella, the diaspora. We come in various shades of colors, from yellow to brown to black. So hue was just kind of like that array of people of color. And I wanted to make that really obvious that was what I was about. So
yeah, when I heard human, remember the Boondocks?
Huey P.
Yeah.
I was thinking Huey P. They're doing a movie with what's the guy from Black Panther starring? Playing Hugh, Fred Hampton. Sorry. He's playing Fred Hampton.
Yeah.
I'm mixing my people. But Huey from the Boondocks. Yeah.
Definitely. But now, speak a little bit about starting your business and the struggles you face growing your business. And it's located in Washington D.C., right?
It is right in Southeast.
Man.
Yeah.
Anacostia.
Yeah.
I hear Southeast, my heart just starts.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. That's why we're there. A lot of people like to talk about how like they started from the bottom and that's how they started their business. That's not my story. So I knew that like probably about a year into working H&M that all of a sudden I was just like, I really want to start a business. And my thing was, we would travel a lot and we would find all this really great jewelry from all these independent artists. We would always go to like BAM in Brooklyn or something in Atlanta, or we were in Mexico, and we would find these really dope artists, but then it was like you couldn't find them again. And this is like, I mean, the internet was out, but it wasn't like everybody had a website like now. So it was like, how do we help these artists to stay alive, to stay afloat, give them platform? And so I was like, I want to have a store. And I would say throughout my journey with H&M, I was traveling a lot. So you get paid a per diem when you travel. So you get extra money. And I would just bank the extra money. I wouldn't spend it. I would focus on living below my means, you know. And eventually when I became a district manager, like we had a company car, I had a company cell phone. It was like I used all their stuff. That's what I did. And so my stuff was really low. I didn't drive my car. I had the lowest cell phone bill. And I just banked my money. And by the time I left, I had about $40,000 cash to start my business. So I took a year off to just kind of like build a website, get familiar with the marketplace, do pop-up shops, get people to know the name. And then in 2013, we opened.
And the website is beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. It's
Thank
pretty
you.
dope. Speak about, you know, the website, you know, what people can find when they go there.
So our website obviously has about us. So what we do and what
As far as like the
foundation.
services, yeah. Like what
Yeah. So we also do things like we have events often. We do about 2 events a month. And then we do have styling. So you can, you know, pay for one of our team members to style you. You can also register if you want to rent our space. There's forms for renting our space. There's forms for becoming one of our artists, collaborations. There's a lot of information on there.
Yo, whoever wrote your bio, man, that joint sounds like poetry.
Oh,
Well, who wrote it, though? You wrote
I
it?
wrote it.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
goodness, that joint's eloquent. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
But speak about, you know, you mentioned a little earlier the placement, the strategic placement of your storefront in Anacostia. You said you wanted to put it in somewhere where the people, you know, that look like you.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just important. I came to DC, you know, I was in Boston and I came to DC for Chocolate City. You know, like when I came, it was already starting to get kind of like mocha swirl, but I came to be around my people, and I found like Southeast is where my people were, and I got to learn about like authentic DC, not new DC, but you know what DC is known for. And so it was really important for me to have something that represented people of color and be in a neighborhood of people of color. I think that just made sense.
Yeah. You mentioned there's nothing like starting your business in the nation's capital, which is DC. You had a lot of DMV. You know,
Right.
as compared to, you know, Atlanta or
Right.
Cali or, you know, what have you. And you just mentioned a little bit why, but speak a little bit about just the black experience, you know, where you get your stuff and why is it that you represent just, you know, buy black, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, buy black. Like, why is that so important?
You know, it's just, I think we have we don't have the same opportunities as our counterparts, especially when it comes to product makers and being on actual retail shelf space. So I think there's a lot of opportunities for white folks to expand their business in different ways that we don't have access to. And so it was important for me to create a space, which is what I know how to do, and present high quality work that represents us past shea butters and t-shirts, and you know, we do so much more than that. And create a space that people feel comfortable in. You can be unapologetically black in our space, but you felt connected to, and you knew that like most of the product was by somebody that looked like you.
Yeah.
Representation is important to me. Like there's this
Facts.
guy online, actually saw it on Instagram. He's like, if you take a group picture, what's the first thing you look for? You look for yourself. And I think that that's what we need more of. We need more representation of ourselves. So.
Yeah, make sure that drip look good. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk to the entrepreneur, Anika, because there's somebody out there that's like, yo, I got my money saved. I want to start my business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to be innovative. You leave in Boston. You got, you know, the loot saved. And you coming to DC somewhere new. Granted, you had a job that brought you here.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? Like from the ground up, you know, just going back to his question earlier, what are some of the strategic things that somebody, you know, saying that you knew or you know now that you wish you knew back then, or that you would tell somebody who's looking to do something?
I would say first thing, learn as much as you can, especially when you're getting a paycheck. Like everybody feels like you have to like cut the money line and go all the way in, and you don't. And like you can do it incrementally. Like I spent years when I was working, I was pretty much banking information. So because they were new to the US, it was like it was like a new business. So I was learning like what were their selling cycles, what did they mess up on, what did they do really well, what were the parts that they needed in order to run a team. It's like, okay, they need an HR person, they need accounting, they need someone responsible for logistics, and just learning all the different parts of the business. So then that way when I left, I already had a bank of information, an example of how it works. So I would say definitely, like, as much as you can, like, be in that, a lot of kids now, young people now come out of college and they're like, I want to start my own business. Cool. But the wealth of information that can be had from when you're working from someone else is like free learning, so use that. So I always recommend everybody to do that. I also always tell everybody to just start. Like, I had that money in the bank, but when I started, I literally started from earrings that I made myself. I always knew I didn't want to create my inventory, but I just started literally. I had like these feather earrings that I just would like glue gun together and put a hook on. They were horrible. They were terrible earrings, but they were like showstoppers. Like, everybody was like, where'd you get those? And it would be like cute. They would fall apart in the rain, but they looked good, right? So everybody was just attracted to them, and I started to get known for these earrings. And then I had another version that I was like cutting this cardboard and wrapping African fabric Ankara over it. And so people started to know me for that. So literally I had like 20 earrings, but I was hitting these streets like I had a trunk full of weight. Like, I was just like, yo, I got this, I got these goods. So I think it's just like starting. However small you are, just like start, because you learn so much in that process. And I think everybody always makes you feel like you have to come out perfect, and you don't. You don't.
Speak a little bit about, the hustle spirit versus the calm or chill spirit, I guess. Yeah, like, because to me it's different. Like, most people who are out here on the streets, like you say, like, they really hustle, they're pushing their product regardless of the texture, the context and all that. And then some people just want to sit back in their houses and just hit online and say, okay, yeah, I'm doing online retailing and stuff like that. Like, speak about that difference.
I think you just have to look at your business from different angles. Like, and now I'm the person that's like behind the computer all the time, and I'm getting older in age, so my grind is a little different. But like, when I first started, like when we first opened the store, like I was the one that was like, I would be at the let-outs everywhere. If the Howard Theater had a show and I was like, oh, I think my customers would be there, I was the one that was outside passing you all flyers that everybody was like, no, thank you. That was me. Like Howard would have their homecoming. I was at whatever they were having, I was out there passing out flyers. So, it was just like, if there was an event where I could sell my stuff or talk about my stuff, I signed up for it. And so I think in the beginning, you really have to be able to be strategic, but you have to put a lot of time. You do have to put a lot of time into it.
Yeah. Business is booming now. Yeah, just chilling and
no. We're in a comfortable place, but there's always room for improvement.
How many people's on your team?
So technically, there's 5 of us. So it's myself. I have a buyer, an event planner, and then we have 2 sales consultants.
How do you prioritize time between your team and yourself?
It's a funnel, right? So the 2 people that impact the business.
This are your employees, by the way. I mean, people that they're on a payroll.
They are on my payroll, but
Gotcha.
they're 1099. So technically, they're consultants.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But you spend the most amount of time with the people that impact your business the most. So obviously the event planner and the buyer, they affect the business the most. And then, between that, I make sure to have like touch base conversations with the sales consultants, because they're basically managing the store when I'm not there. So
what tools do you use on a daily basis? Because most people, when they want to start businesses, they spend a lot of time, researching what tools to use. Say, I want to build a website. Should I use Wix or should I use Squarespace or what's the other thing? The other ones, or for payroll, what tools to use, or for this. So for you, what tools do you recommend, especially in this line of business?
What we do a lot of, we use Square for our register. So we do a lot with Square. We also use a lot in Google. So Google is basically where our domain is. So we definitely use like Google Drive a lot, everything that Google has, forms, all of it. We do scheduling on like When I Work, which is an app and also online. So that helps us to see like cost per hour. Are we making our sales goals, and how we manage our time. What else do we use? Sometimes we use Slack. I feel like we have a gazillion tools. That's probably the challenge. It's like there's so many tools that like.
You're just finding those.
Yeah. Like QuickBooks is something that we use for accounting. We use a lot of tools.
Touch a subject, and I don't know how you feel about this word gentrification is hitting DC pretty hard right now. Does that affect you as a black business owner, and how you I don't know, adjusting to?
Yeah, I would say if I didn't have a brick and mortar, it wouldn't really affect me. I don't think as much, but because I have a physical space, it does. So, my goal is to make sure that, especially with us being in Anacostia, that we represent brands of color as much as possible.
Facts.
And that's my mission, and that's my bottom line. And, that's going to be wherever we go, it's going to be black and brown businesses in our space.
Yeah. So right now, how do you, draw traffic, both online and physical, being a brick and mortar storefront?
Right. So first thing is like we do a lot of events. So like we have to do these events in order to keep us like relevant.
Like Black Love Experience coming up.
Yeah, like Black Love Experience. Yeah, that's my baby. So we definitely do a lot of events. We do ads. So we do Facebook ads, Instagram ads. We have a mailing list with about almost 6,000 people on it. Social media is huge. It's not the answer.
Send that our way.
It's not the answer. Social media is not the answer, but social media is a huge driver for us, obviously. So we put a lot of time into that.
That's why you see in here. She asked earlier before you came through, how did y'all find me? I was just scrolling through Instagram one day. I fell on your page. I said, the name, first of all, dope name. You picked a dope name.
Thank you.
Black Love Experience, all the fists, what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, hey, let me go and see if, I can find a wife for AK on this page. But,
have you found your own first?
You need to come. Trust me.
The Black Love Experience?
You will. Trust me.
Hey,
it's
that's
like
how it be?
84% women.
Save it. Hey.
Telling you.
Don't shout.
Hold on. You mentioned you were district visual manager for H&M.
Right.
How did you feel about their whole scandal a couple years back?
The monkey T-shirt,
the monkey hoodie.
Yeah.
Part of it is like I think my thing was, and I think I wrote about it on Instagram, is that it's a Swedish company. So the perspective is not necessarily going to be the same. Like how people feel about race is not the same. And even how black people feel about race throughout the world is not going to be the same. Right? So if a woman feels like her child is not a monkey, then she's not going to see an issue with her child wearing a monkey sweatshirt. But as I do feel like by the time it made it to the US, there should have been somebody that said, you know what, I don't really think that's gonna like go too well. But I also have to understand this is not an American based brand.
Yeah.
So I think there's something to think about when people get hyped up like that.
Sorry to cut you off. With the Gucci's and the Pradas.
Oh yeah, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. Gucci's wrong. Like, I mean, even just like, where does your inspiration? A monkey is one thing because it's a child, it's an animal. But like blackface, that's rooted in something that's a clear, direct line. Yeah. I think that's straight wrong. Yeah.
Man, I don't know. Well, anyways, that's for the people who purchase Gucci.
Right, that's not my life.
I'll let them worry about that.
Yeah.
What is it? And I asked you a little bit earlier. What's the criterion for the clients or people that you put in your store?
So like the
vetting process, I guess.
Yeah. So it's, like I said earlier, we have people that come to us like just show up. Like I had Poppy from Urban Zulu, he's like actually one of our resident brands. He just showed up one day and he was like, my friend said you sent her an email and she told me I need to come here. And I was like, who's your friend? And so it just so happened she was on our mailing list. And so she was like, when you come to the States, stop by that store. So, since then he's come, like, You know, we've had him for the past 2.5 years. Like, we spent time together in Johannesburg. Like, and he's like an amazing designer and entrepreneur himself. But you know, people sign up online. We do a lot of research. And, you know, one thing we really make sure is that it's unique, it's different, because you can't end up like with the same thing. Like I said, shea butters and t-shirts all the time. But, you know, it's unique. It represents us in like some sort of traditional way. If it's like traditional fabric, weaving, ingredients, something to that extent.
So much of love about to come through your
Yeah, I see that. I see that. I peeped it. Trust me, I peeped it.
I'm just kidding.
And like, yeah, so it's unique. It's a quality product, and it basically represents tradition in a positive way. So,
Is February the slowest month in retail?
typically, yes.
Why is that?
You know, it's after the holidays. It's usually cold as hell. And people just are not about spending in February unless it's Valentine's Day. But otherwise, it's just typically the slowest month.
Yeah. It's Black History Month too?
It is.
Yeah, man. How do you feel about this, you know, the R. Kellys and Jesse, what's his last name?
Smollett.
Yeah, that guy. You know, how do you feel about, you know, what's going on right now in the news?
He messing up.
Black History Month.
Yes, but yeah. How do you feel about that? Like,
You know, those are two different instances. I mean,
Hey, R. Kelly going to jail, and I'm happy.
yeah, he needed to go to jail like decades ago. So they got him.
Jesse Smollett, he just dumb.
Yeah, he just needed attention. And
Let's talk Black Love experience, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk your baby Black Love experience. When was the first time? What can people expect from this year? When is it? You know, plug it in. You know, because I'm ready to come and secure.
So it was, the first one was in 2014. So we were only open for like 4 months. And I knew February was coming, the slowest month. And I was like, I cannot, you know, I'm new. I can't afford not to bring in no money. So I was like, let me have this event. It was in February. So typically we have it in February. And I was like, it's Black History Month. It's love. So let's just bring a few brands together and a DJ. And we probably had like 100 or 200 people show up. And now we're in the 6th year. And we moved it to March. And we had, like, last year, about 1,500 people show up to the event. 84% women. Yeah.
why you keep repeating that? Like, you just keep repeating that.
84% Black women.
Yeah. They show up.
Of all shades, tribe, tongues, and nations.
March too. It's right after, you know, the cold and stuff. So, hey, flex, man. So you trying to get married quick, man.
I ain't going, bro. I ain't going for that. I'm going for the music.
Oh, yeah.
And the food.
Yeah, I mean, it's really dope because it's like this multi-sensory experience. So, you know, our thing is like we need a moment where we can just love ourselves, right? And just talk about, like, do that through sonically. So do that through the music, do it through vendors. So now we have like double the amount of vendors we had in the previous years. And everything is just Black. Like, the alcohol is Black, the wine is Black, the people who produce our t-shirts, our bags are Black, our flyers are by Black people, my graphic designer is Black. Like, it's just black. Yeah, Black. Everything Black. And
Black
like,
and
we
proud.
talk about energy, so we try to make sure
it's
sweet juice, I promise you. And you know, it's like this year we have comedy, we have DJ Underdog and Native Son, and we just have like a lot of major groups this year. So Black Alley, Junkyard, for those who love go-go, Junkyard Band. And so we got like our Afrobeat, we have our go-go, we have our R&B, we have all of it.
Up.
And then and then we have you know, workshops on energy. So like yin energy, women energy, men's energy, and then how can we bring that together so that we can relate to each other better. But it's a full night. Like, it's a full night.
I will about to put you on the spot right now. Can we pull up a table, you know, and be some vendors outside in the lobby area?
Outside, because you got your merch.
No, not merch. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, we don't sell merch. We don't carry, you know, inventory. You just put a table outside, you know, and just
all about, you know, putting the word
out. You know what I'm saying? Be that grassroots.
Yeah, you can.
We'll talk about it after the podcast. I just had to say it on here. So
Remember when you said
like you said Afro beats, like, you know, I mean, let's you know, think about introducing some, African artists in the diaspora, that should come, perform too as well, turn up.
Yeah,
just saying,
definitely.
If you need that, I got the list, man.
Okay.
I give you some artists that gonna bring that fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
In talking about Black love experience, that's a debate right now. I don't know where you fall in the spectrum about Black brothers marrying Black sisters exclusively. What are your thoughts on that? Killer Mike is
man.
Well, what's the debate?
Isn't it about Black brothers marrying, Caucasian women?
Yeah, and not the need, but let's marry the sisters.
What's the debate? Yeah, they should marry the sisters.
What's your view on brothers? Saying like marrying.
No, what's your view on brothers getting that bag and instead of marrying sisters to go marry Caucasian women? Because they claim to say that the sisters come with attitude and all that, all the extraness.
Yeah,
that's the question you're trying to ask.
Okay,
don't sweeten it up, man. Just say that's it.
Okay. Love is love. Like, so if it's real love, you can't control who you love. But if you get the bag and then all of a sudden you want to marry like Caucasian women because that's what you feel is going to look like success to you, then that's something different. But I feel like, what a lot of people don't realize is that what Black people go through, only Black people understand that, right? So you can have your Caucasian wife, and yes, she may be nice, but when you talk about your struggles of being a Black man, which you will have and which you will talk about, you cannot do that with her. You can do it. She can't. She can sympathize, but she doesn't understand. And I think that is what is most important, is like, we need to have a community of people who understand the plight that we go through. It's real. And so I think that's where I have a hard time with it, is like, how do you relate on your inner core, to your struggles and your plights. Some people just ignore it, and, or maybe when you have more money, you don't look at color anymore, whatever. But I think that we have a unique experience, and we can support each other through that.
Facts.
There's this debate. Well, I don't know if it's still ongoing right now, but I remember, back in high school, they would call us, like African Buddhist graduates or what have you, or when you're having a debate with an African American, being African, which to me, I really still don't see the difference. But anyways, when you're having a debate to go, oh, you Africans and blah, blah, blah. And I'm saying, dude, I mean, we're the same color. Why do we really have to, differentiate, separate, our races like that? We're still Black.
Right.
So have you heard people, talk about, oh, they're Africans and that's why they do this, or the African Americans and that's why they do this? If so, how can we, start creating, that safe space, to come together and, be one, united?
Yeah, I mean, that definitely comes up, that definitely comes up. Even the circles that I move in as a Black American, and a lot of the people that I'm around are like first generation or actually from the continent, so I hear a different perspective sometimes, but I think it's all about educating each other. Like, I learned so much, like when I went to Kenya, and I spent some time in Kisii, which is like country Kenya. And my family's from the country, like really down south Alabama, and it was like some of the ways and behaviors were so close to what I was seeing of my family in the South. Even the way you like bend over, the way you cook collard greens, like some of it was so close and the same. As like, if you just spend time educating yourself, then you'll realize that we're actually closer to each other than we even realized, so there's less of a divide. So I think a lot of it is just educating, spending time together. Yeah, culturally there are some things that are different, like language, even to start, or some foods are different, or ways of thinking. But I think a lot of it is just having dialogue like this, is how we kind of cut that down between each other. Yeah.
Being that you're in Southeast DC, and for someone like me, my own experience in Southeast DC it's a little bit different. I haven't been all around it to see what parts are good or what parts are bad, or if it's all bad or good. But being that you're there, for those who have this negative impression of Southeast,
right?
Could you speak a little bit about its reaches? It's the beauty about Southeast, and why why your store being there, or how has your store impacted that community?
Yeah, honestly, I would say we may have impacted the community, but I would say Southeast has impacted us. that like I learned community by being in Southeast. You know, like I really learned what community actually was by the family that we have built being in Southeast. Like I'll tell you, when I walk down the street, people wave, they say hi, they say what's up. They don't know you, or they may know me, but you know, everybody speaks to you. Summertime Southeast is so dope, you know, because it's like you got your music, you got your food, and like people are just amazing, you know. It's like it's community. And even like if I pull up in front of my store and I'm like, if I have a lot of bags or I'm trying to figure out how to carry some heavy furniture, there's not a brother that walks by that's like not like, sister, can I help you? Sister, I'll take that for you, or hold the door for me. I don't feel like I would have that if I was in Northwest. That's just an assumption, but when I walk down the street in Northwest, I don't get that. So I think I've learned so much about like community being there, and it just has a different heartbeat than the rest of DC. And I think it gets, there's things that happen in Southeast, but there's things that happen in other areas. They just don't report about it the way they do in Southeast. But, you know, you got generations of Black folks who've been there, who've seen it through all the different ages of, you know, DC, different presidents and so forth, mayors. And it's just rich in history of what DC actually is. And that's why everybody's trying to get in there now. So.
Yeah. If you had to do it all over again, would you go to a different city, or would you still pick Southeast?
No, absolutely Southeast. Like 10,000%, absolutely Southeast.
Yeah.
Like I've just learned so much, and I've gained such like amazing family being there. You know, like we rely on each other, we help each other, we have real conversations. You know, sometimes they curse me out, sometimes I curse them out. Like it's real family. It's real family over there. And I really don't think it would have happened like that is something you can't write in a business plan.
Facts.
Yeah.
So it's like I would never take that back.
Yeah. Before get back to Nubian Hueman, you have an event coming up.
Yes.
Could you plug that in, please?
The Black Love Experience. Yes.
Where you
It's March
sleeping?
23rd.
No, I'm just saying. I should plug it in the game. You know?
It's March 23rd. You can go on blackloveexperience.com or follow us on social media at Black Love Experience. And tickets are on sale now. So get them now, because I'm telling you, day of, they go up. So, and it's just an amazing night of us just loving each other and like having an amazing time. And it's like nothing else. I promise you, it's like nothing else you've ever been to. So,
For all my introverts out there, how do you use yours to leverage success? Your introvertness. How do you use yours? You know, a lot of people who are introverts, they don't really say, oh man, I'm gonna create a business,
right?
You know, I'm gonna go out here and do this, or you know, go sell this product. Like, how were you able to crack that shell? You know, for all my introverts out there, you know, let's help this, you know, our fellow folks, you know, crack out the shell. So, because I'm one too, so you know,
you know what? It's something I'm still working on.
You introvert.
Yeah.
I'm still working on it. You know, like I'm not. You know, I was. Be Beyonce. I don't want to be Beyonce. I want to be that woman that's just really rich and I'm walking to my jet and everybody's like, who's that? And I'm okay with that. That I am okay with eating caviar and you don't know my name. I want that. But I think you have to at some point like push yourself out there, because, you know, even my team was like, people want to know who's behind the brand. It's not a machine. Like there's actually somebody that's answering you when you like email us and ask a question, or there is someone that is pushing, you know, go on that Instagram post. There's real people behind that. And I think it has, you know, it's been cool because now people are like, oh, you're Nubian Hueman, which is cool because that helps me to push the brand. And I think also with them seeing like, oh, it's a Black woman behind this, because, you know, sometimes it's not Black folks. It looks Black, but it's not run by Black folks. But for them to actually see like, oh, it's a Black woman, I think has helped us, because we're on a revolution right now. So.
And it's been televised.
It's been televised. Yeah. And, you know, the thing is like, if it's not on Instagram, if it's not on social media, if nobody sees it, then it didn't happen. So, you know, you have to put yourself out there to a certain extent. People have to know you exist.
A lot of sisters and you know, some brothers, they've started this wave of blogging. You know, a lot of people blog these days. you spoke a little bit about, your mailing list.
Right.
How important is your mailing list, especially, with bloggers and, people who have online presence and all that, like
Right.
stores? Yeah, how important is that mailing list?
It's really important. I mean, those are the people who have said, I believe in you. They've signed up to follow your business.
Yeah.
So it's different than somebody who follows you on social media, because it's kind of like instant. It's very short. Whereas these people want to engage. They want to hear about your process. They even want to hear about your failures. So it's a little different than, in the other ways in which to keep in touch. So like one thing that, we were talking about, the success of, your podcast is the consistency, right? So it's important to be consistent and let them know your story, let them know your inventory, let them know about who you have on your roster and what's coming, because they'll come out and support you if you let them know.
Two-part question. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Just piggyback on that. What is success to you? And where's the future of Nubian Hueman?
Success to me is, I think my biggest thing is impacting lives. Like, I want to see the Black economy. I want us to keep our dollar in our community longer than the 6 hours that we do keep it in our communities. Like, I want us to see us flourish, and I want to show us doing that in excellence. I think when people think it's Black, they think mediocre, right? So whatever we produce is probably going to be below standard to any counterpart. And my biggest thing is like, that is not true. Like, we are the trailblazers, the trendsetters, all of that. So my biggest thing is like, success to me is continuing to be a platform, growing businesses in whatever way, whatever God's gifts, talents we've been given in order to support other businesses, then that's what we want to do. So like we've worked with about 400 brands at this point. If I can say in another 5 years, we've worked with 1,200 brands. That is success to me.
Yeah, I rate it.
What is one thing we haven't spoke about that you want, the listeners to know about you, or on the Black Love Experience or Nubian Hueman?
One thing, I would say,
Dun, dun, dun.
I know. I just feel like I've said so much. I would say what I just said. That just we are here for excellence.
Listen, come to the store.
Come to the store.
And have some stuff.
Yeah, March 23rd.
Yeah.
March 23rd. Come to the Black Love
That's what I was
Experience. You know what I'm saying?
supposed to
Like, you can't spill all the beans here. Come to the store. It's in Southeast
Come to the
DC.
store.
What's the
Shop
address
the
of the
store?
store?
1231 Good Hope Road.
What's your
in
number?
Southeast DC. What's my what?
Store number.
1231.
No, phone number.
Phone number.
Oh, 202-394-3396.
Open Friday to Monday, 7 to.
We're open Tuesday through Sunday. So Tuesday through Saturday, we're open 12 to 7, and Sunday, 11 to 3.
Why not Monday?
The whole building's closed on Monday.
Oh, okay.
Nothing
okay.
against Monday.
How can people reach you on social or connect with you on your brand?
So we're Nubian Hueman on everything: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're also Black Love Experience on Instagram and Facebook, and Black Love EXP on Twitter.
I love it. Marry Black, buy Black. That's coming from Reflex. If you don't like it, go
kick rocks.
Yeah. We have had the pleasure of speaking with Anika Hobbs. She is the founder and CEO of Nubian Hueman. Appreciate you coming through.
Thank you.
I love
Thank you
the
for
dreads.
having me. Thank you.
A lot of people don't want me to grow dreads, but I love y'all because y'all Black.
You can't even grow dreads, man.
Bro, I'm trying.
Yeah, you can't.
I did what I did, but
You can't even grow facial hair.
Why does man hate on me, man? We just talking about
the
Black
jacket,
love,
though.
man.
I like the jacket, though.
Love ya, brother.
I like the jacket, though. Where you cap that jump?
Thank you so much for coming through. This has been a pleasure.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
If you like what you just heard, please hit subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, we are Stuck in the Middle podcast. You can rate us, do screenshots. We appreciate y'all. That's how we grow. Hey, AK.
Yes, sir. Oh, I got something to get off my chest, man.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man. Anyways, we're Stuck in the Middle podcast.
You must get this thing off your chest.
No, man, no. I was gonna go piggyback off the subscription thing. You know, this whole week after we dropped the episode with the chef
Kofemi.
Kufemi,
Yeah.
and the agile consulting.
Rita. Yeah.
Is it Rita?
Yeah, Rita. Kate.
Yeah, Kate. You know, said like, she like the whole week, right? She was sending me text messages of, you know, people in Kentucky, Washington, you know, people who watched the episode, and how much, you know, they invested now into Scrum, you know, and all that. All that just to say that, yo, we create this, you know, we create this platform to put people like Nubian Hueman out, you know, tell them that, yo, come shop, you know, buy black and all that. It looks, you know, it's fun. It's fun for us, you know, because we're gaining knowledge and all that, but also we are highlighting, you know, black experience. We're highlighting, you know, the movements and shakers in our society. For people to sit there and say, oh, I wish I had known, dude, it's right there. You know what I mean? Like, we took the time out to actually sit here and get people to come on. Like, you could have been doing something better with your time right now, but you're here with us doing this. Why not subscribe? Why not watch? Why not learn a thing or two?
Why not share?
Why not share? Exactly. You know,
Support, man.
Support, man. Hey, hit that subscribe button. Watch an episode. It's going to change your life. Just like, I don't know what, but anyways, yeah.
You good?
I just had to say that.
You good now?
I was good. I just had to say that.
I know you good. I know you good. I know you're good, man. And now we appreciate the love. We appreciate the support. People do support, and we appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me. It was fun.
Yeah.
I apologize for being late. You know, it's not a regular.
The haircut looks good.
Thank you.
That pot though, they're like, nah, Abrahami wakastigwe patsi. Was it Moses? It was Moses or Abraham who parted the sea.
I don't know. You're good at this. Why are you asking me?
Dang, yo, my old testament. I'm sorry. This is Stuck in the Middle podcast.
Here we are.